Hey, what's going on, Tops and Blue family and friends? It's your second favorite comedian, Walter Campbell, Tops and Blue 2001 and 2013. Really quickly, it's my honor and privilege to be able to introduce the next guest on the Priory. Now, this guest is very near and dear to my heart as they were the very first person I met at Worldwide in 2001. We went on to be able to tour together in 01 and 2013. And she's probably one of the most versatile and talented performers ever to come through the program. She's a vocalist, she's a dancer, she's an actress. She went on and performed with the Air Force Band down in DC. She was also part of Max Impact. She's one of the youngest Chief Master Sergeants ever in the history of the United States Air Force, unofficially. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my tour mate, my sister, the one and only Miss Regina Coonrod-Pullin. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Gina, I want my money.
On you. Oh, folks, look who we have here today. We got Regina. We got Regina here. Oh, but hang on. You have to prove your existence because in the era of AI and computer generated stuff, this might not be you. So what would you say to prove that it's really you, that we would all know, that all my blue peeps and peepettes and peepers would say that's absolutely Regina? What would you say? How would you prove your existence?
I would give them a big old Tennessee yurt, a Sparta Tennessee yurt, and they would know exactly that was me because you only do it in Sparta.
Oh, okay. Well, there's some information I didn't know. All right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It doesn't mean it doesn't spell anything. It's no acronym. It's just yurt.
Just yurt. Yurt. Okay. Yeah. All right.
But any other ones?
No, that's good. Before I get into everything on you here. Oh, by the way, welcome to the Priory. I didn't do the proper introduction. Welcome to the Priory.
Thank you. I've been watching them, man.
Welcome to my man cave.
I love it.
And I got my hair down for you tonight, kiddo. I usually have my hair up for people. I got my hair down for you.
All right. You look awesome.
All right.
I love your office too. I got to get me one.
Just a little man cave down here in the basement. It's all nothing too awful fancy. I got a little Galaga machine over here to my right. Galaga.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then
I have a vivid memory of you that I want to see if you remember. My guess is you won't. So I don't remember what Worldwide this was. It was one of the last few before everything was shut down in Texas. And I had just gotten there. This is before everything started, before everybody came in. But there was a party in one of the rooms at lodging that I was trying to find everybody. I couldn't find anybody. And I heard noises coming from a room in lodging. And it was a bottom floor room. And I said, oh, that's my folks in that room. So I walk in, I just knock, I walk in. Right off the bat, you had a shot glass in your hand and you were saying, drink.
Oh my God. Or shot.
Oh, that's what it was. Shot. That's right. Shot. That's exactly right. Right. That's exactly right. And you handed it to me. Yes, correct. Shot. Thank you for correcting that. That's exactly right. So I just went, and the usual cast of characters was in the room, food and beverages. And I just took it just on a complete shock because you were right there in my face. You were like, boom. So I took the shot, totally forgetting that I'm a gastric bypass patient.
Oh.
And when you're a gastric bypass patient, you have less plumbing. So the absorption happens like that.
You were twisted immediately.
And about 4.5 minutes, I was begging Huey for chicken wings. And all I can remember, this is what I remember.
Way to break the ice.
I remember just tidbits of that evening in that room. And I just remember yelling out, China!
Them were my BC days. That was my before Christ days, you
Oh,
know.
it was a, that's ingrained into my,
Oh my gosh, such good times though, man.
yeah, it
That was the
was.
best.
All right.
That
Oh,
was the
yeah.
best.
So,
Mhm.
let's get into this. I want to hear your thoughts
I'm
about,
sorry, by the way. I'm
uh,
sorry.
no,
I'm
it's all
sorry
right. You
that
didn't
that we
know.
got you twisted.
You didn't know.
Peer
You didn't know.
pressure.
It was that's still that's a memory that's just sits right there. Just
That's
rattles
awesome.
around
I
in my head.
remember it vividly.
Oh, shot. Um, so anyways, I want to hear your thoughts on Chief's retirement ceremony. By the way, your part in that piece, the video piece was wonderful. Perfect setting, by
Oh,
the way, on the porch. That was
thank
great.
you.
That was awesome.
Thank you very much. That was all very best, and you know, and Miss Francine and all them doing their magic and everything. But it was funny because they said um send in some songs or whatever, and I said I'll sing background, you know, whatever.
Hmm.
I sing
Yeah,
some oohs and ahs.
yeah,
And then he was like, send me a few, and then I sent like, I hope you have the time of your life, and
yeah.
school's out for summer, and then that was one of them.
Uh-huh.
And then he was like, I think we're gonna do this to a tap video. Don't tell anybody. And then I said, okay, how did I get myself into this? Because I was just trying to go and chill out, you know.
And
So,
just enjoy it.
um,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's an honor too. So,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you just so going down there, I was sick as a dog because I was so nervous about the whole thing because it's been years, you know,
Yeah.
since we've
And
been
plus,
there.
that's an important audience.
And that is a very important, I mean,
Yeah. That's
not
the
even
audience.
worldwide. That was bigger than worldwide
That
because
was
it
an
was
audience
just
of
all the
audiences right
heavies.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and all the legends, man. And I mean, there's some people that I miss dearly, that weren't there that I was looking for. But it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and what they did for Chief. And I come home and describe to people 62 years, and they can't even fathom
Yeah.
that someone spent that amount of time
Yeah.
affiliated with with the military. They can't even fathom it. I said, "Can you imagine what kind of ceremony that is?" And who was it? General Jones.
Yeah. General Jones. Yeah.
He was amazing.
How he and
I mean,
I was
he was
talking to
like,
Walt about that. How he did that off the top of his head was mind-boggling.
he must have. Well, I would have had to study that for 2 years,
Oh,
but you could just tell his love for Tom
yep.
and his love for the program. So I
Yeah.
mean, that was great. That was
He
great.
was awesome. He was awesome. So I don't know anything about you pre-military that I know of.
By the
Oh,
way,
go ahead.
them sequence curtains was the bomb.
Oh, stop. Listen, listen,
I loved it. I said, I'm not even gonna even get
listen.
involved in this because I'll have
I I had no intentions. I said to myself, I'm here early. Let's just stop by and say hi. I go in there and it's the typical, hours before the event, things happening in typical cops and blue fashion.
yep.
And I'm seeing Lakey trying to work poles and
That's your problem. You ran into Lakey. That's right.
oh, I turned to her. I said, "Do you need help?" And the thing that I hate to do the most out of all my years with this program is those. And I went
Well,
right to it.
you
It
did it
was
for hours,
it
and
was odd
they
therapy.
were beautiful.
Oh, it was very odd therapy for me.
They were great. Well, thank you for doing that.
Oh, it's the least I could do. So yeah, I want to hear about your pre-military life. I don't know anything about where you grew up. I don't know about kids. I don't know. So give me your pre-military story.
Okay, I'll try to keep it short. Pre-military story. So I let's start in high school. In high school, I was two things. I was well, three. I was a singer. I was in the band as well. I played alto saxophone, and
Oh,
but I started the JROTC program, Army JROTC program from the ground up. So my freshman year was its first year at our school. And so I was able to rise to the rank of battalion commander by the time I graduated. And I had a JROTC scholarship to go there, but I had lots of loves, including music and theater and stuff like that. So um, I had seen the Air Force Band one time, Colorado Band of the Rockies. I had no idea really who they were, but we sang with them. I think I did Desperado.
Oh,
And
wow. The Eagles
yeah,
athlete.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. And it was really cool. And but I think I was a junior or something like that. And they had mentioned it, but I never thought about the Air Force Band again or that it even existed. Um, Fast forward to my senior year, and I decided to take the college route, and use some of the scholarship money I had. I really didn't have too much of a plan because I was going to Nashville and I thought I was gonna like make it. I was trying in my
Yeah.
mind. I was
Yeah.
trying, but and now you're no longer a big fish in a little pond. You're just amongst all the people who are hustling.
Right.
And I worked at Chili's on West End by Vanderbilt and all that, and I was in Vanderbilt's marching band actually for a couple of years, and because I went to Trevecca National University, a Christian school there. But
Right.
then because they didn't have a football program, they had a partnership with Vanderbilt. So I marched for the blue and gold for a little bit and was in Trevecca's uh, theater program heavily. Ran out of money, and decided, okay, I got to choose. And I went to my recruiter, to the Air Force recruiter. It was the same one as 3 years ago that tried to get me in, and I'd already taken ASVAB and all that good stuff, and I loved the aspect of military. It was easy for me. We went to Fort Campbell and did all these commanders courses and all this stuff, and I thrived on it. I loved it. So I knew that that was something that would be easy. But I also knew because I was raised in poverty, very low income, and we didn't have anything. So parents couldn't send me to college or anything like that either. So um, I knew I couldn't come back home. That was the biggest thing. And
Right.
so I needed something steady. And so I signed up for the Air Force before I even told my parents or
Oh,
anybody. So
wow.
because I didn't want to come home that summer feeling like I failed, you know?
Yeah.
So so I left in May 25th. It was Memorial Day,
Oh.
and flew down to San Antonio. My first time ever on a plane.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm Poda Country, Middle Tennessee,
Yeah.
Sparta, White
Yeah.
County, and that's when my military career started.
So do
Oh,
you have,
and my ROTC commander, he was Army, and his son also joined the Air Force as well around the same time as me. And he said, if I had a daughter, and I consider you my daughter, he said, I would tell you not to join the Army. And so I declined that whole commission
yeah.
thing to take the scholarship and all that. That's why I ended up going to Nashville, and that's and he said, please join the Air Force. It's better for women. You'll have more opportunities and things of that nature.
No,
So that's what.
do you have military legacy in your family?
My uncle was a Vietnam vet, but not really. It wasn't really talked about much because he didn't really talk to me about Vietnam until
Mm,
after
yeah.
I'd been deployed and we were able
Right.
to share some things together. But not really at all.
So the whole idea of the military was kind of spontaneous during your high school years, and it's just something you gravitated to then.
Yes, 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 yes.
Wow.
I mean, my mom worked in a shirt factory. My dad worked construction sometime. And I was in the place where my entire family, I had 18 aunts and uncles that were all married with cousins, and we all grew up on the
Wow.
same street. So you're talking like a huge extended family too, and we all lived here. So me leaving was a huge thing. It
Yeah,
was
I bet.
and well, even me coming back, I was one of few that left
Mhm.
and decided to leave for a while. Some left and came back quickly. I always knew that I would come back home though.
Yeah.
I knew that I had to find a mate that agreed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's half the battle right there. Yeah.
right.
So did you go? I know you went in security, security police. Did you go in open or did you select that? I like these stories.
I did, but that's what I wanted.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's what
Okay. All right. Wow,
I
you were
wanted
very
that.
often.
Yes, but the recruiter was like, go open. But I really wanted to I'm a huge justice girl. So it's
Yeah.
I'm all about fighting for what's right, and I will fight you. I'll fight a bully. I'll fight,
Yeah.
to try for what's right. And I think that just appealed to me. So I went
Is there
for
any
it.
family legacy of police or anything like that in your family?
Uh-uh,
Oh,
uh-uh.
wow.
I mean, going to jail a few, yeah,
Yeah.
but not police.
On the other side of that spectrum, yes.
Yeah, yep.
Wow. And then
But
so
yeah,
how long were you security police before you transitioned into the band world?
well, the band came after Thompson Blue, so I didn't really even know anything about the band until we went
Right,
to
after
bowling
Blue. Yeah,
for Thompson Blue.
yeah.
But I went to tech school, that's still in Lackland.
Mhm.
And so they decided to do this huge experiment to take pipeliners to Andrews for Air Force One security.
Wow,
And
okay.
the theory behind that was, and they took about 100 of us out of the 1,000. They came down and did all these interviews, people who could get a quick Yankee White clearance fast, that were young, and
Yeah.
that was the theory behind it. We can get them done quicker because it was a backlog. So here I was at Andrews at 19, 20 years old, and I was guarding Air Force One. So that, first of all, was like, that was the
Wow.
beginning of my career. That was
Wow.
the beginning of my career. It was wild. So, and nobody believed me back at home. So I started like taking pictures
Yeah.
above the catwalk of the thing. Now, this is totally illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you might not want to put this on there, but I would go in, and it was Bill Clinton at the time, and I would
Uh-huh.
put on Hillary's robe and like just try to prove that I was,
Right.
I was there for real because my friends didn't believe me. So,
Wow.
but that's what I started there, and then I was a cop for a while. I was somewhat good. I was book smart, but I really was like that lady on that, what's that cop? Police Academy.
Police
I was
Academy.
like,
Oh yeah,
Faye
yeah.
Webster.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
horrible, really, in real life. But I could I could QC like a mug, I could take a SKT,
Yeah. That's
so I
funny.
saw Thompson Blue.
Yeah.
2000 was my first time seeing Thompson Blue,
Okay.
and
All right.
Miss Sarah sang that If You Believe, and I fell in love with all of it. The
Yeah.
rest was history. I was like, what is this, and how do I get in it?
You
So,
saw him at Andrews?
um, yes.
Okay.
Huh? I
Was it
saw
at
them at
Andrews?
Andrews, yes,
Yeah.
in the theater.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And by that time, I hadn't met Derek or Miss Lorna or anybody at that
Right.
time.
Right.
I'd been doing the anthems and stuff around the base. But anyway, they said, you can't go because obviously you have a Yankee White clearance and we're not going to let you go. Right.
Right.
And so I ran this thing up to my chain of command. I was like, I'm going to keep asking until I get a yes.
Yeah.
So um, by that time, they hated me anyway. So they were like, stop trying to leave here. And
Just let her go.
right, just let her go. So my superintendent said, well, if you can make 100 on your 5 level, on your SKTs, I will let you go.
No way.
And nobody's ever done it to my existence in the security forces group, but I made 100 and they had to
Holy
say
crap.
yes. So it was
What?
pretty funny.
That's
Yes, yes,
awesome.
yes. I don't know how I did it. I basically memorized the entire book. That's what I did. I
Yeah.
memorized the book and then I was able to apply it. So because I got ADHD, so I could photographically remember it. Now, later on, I couldn't think critically, but I could definitely, when I read, but I could memorize a book. So,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So I
Wow.
got my 100 and I got approved to go down. And, but then they linked me up with Miss Lorna and, and all the cats. And that was my introduction to that family that I love so much.
Yeah.
So, and off I went.
So I was gonna ask um Andrew this and I just totally forgot to. But I'm fascinated by your progression through the ranks. What, 21 years and you were a chief?
Yes, yes.
That's
I
that's
put on chief at 17.
that's amazing. I mean, even back in
Well,
my day, that would have been unheard of.
Well, I was I've always been very driven
Mhm.
by, and it's almost like if somebody says I can't do it, I'm trying. If
Yeah.
it's a record to be broken, I'm trying to break it. So don't challenge me to anything because I will kill myself trying to do it. But I saw a lady who made chief in 14 years at Andrews.
Wow.
And she was somebody that mentored me. And I was like, how'd you do it? Like, what did you do? So she would always she worked at the hospital. I don't even know her name, but she helped me a great deal as far as just putting that seed, and things that you have to do to kind of stand out, and doing the things that nobody else wants to do. But that was even while I was a cop. But when I joined the Air Force Band, as you know, the two premier bands, which was in Colorado and DC, you advanced to E6. So I put on Below the Zone. Um, I believe I did that in staging. I think I put on
Oh,
Below the
wow.
Zone in staging of 2001, and I joined in 99. So I went to staging, did that, and then I tested for staff, made staff the first time, but my line number was like 19,000 and something other.
Right.
So I knew I wasn't going to put on staff for a long time.
Yeah.
And but when I went to audition for the Air Force Band, they told me on the spot that I made it, which was crazy. And they said, come back with your tech stripes. You're wearing the wrong stripes. And I was like, no, 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 no. I'm about to put on staff, but it's not time yet. And they were like, you don't understand. And I was like, no, you don't understand. So, so I'm a staff sergeant. I'm putting on staff. I'm a staff select. And they were like, okay, here's the deal. So I had no idea that
Right.
you put on
Yeah.
tech when you come in. So once that happened, I did the best I could to try to get that rank. And because in that world, that's the best thing you could do for yourself is
Well,
try to get promoted.
that brings me to my next question. Was that something you shot for? When you were a staff, when you made staff, even when you were a senior airman, or I don't even know if they had buck sergeants back then, did you say in your head, I am going to be a chief master sergeant someday? Was that a goal early in your career, or did you plan on doing 8 years and out, or 12 years?
They Okay, so once I figured out that I had no plan B after I re-enlisted, because
Right.
after 4 years, I was like, there's no plan B.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything else. And I decided that I was going to be the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
that was,
You
I
were,
mean, that was, I was
you
laser
gotta have
focused,
goals.
whatever it is. So,
Wow.
so, so I shot up there and then, fell amongst the stars. So.
How the chief master sergeant thing blows me away. How are you notified? Not that you did it. It's just when you make E9, and I did not. When you make E9, I'm fascinated by, okay, other than if you become a command chief master sergeant or whatever the new allocations are now. What's it like? Who told you made chief, and what was that like for you? That's a big deal. I mean, all ranks a big deal, but that's
It
a
is a big
really big deal.
deal. It really is a big deal. Now, I don't know if and I'm sure people from the band have talked about how it's just not all roses.
Oh, yeah.
I was one that didn't have those stratifications or anything, so it wasn't really a happy report for them to come to me at all. So I didn't get the whole. Now I did get there was three of us that got promoted at the same time, same cycle or whatever, and and we got the little ceremony where they tacked us on and all that.
Mhm.
But getting chief, it was one of those where I was doing everything I could, and they were putting people ahead of me, and I was doing all these things, and I didn't get the strat when I thought I was getting the strat and all that stuff. So I never got a strat, and they said, and my husband at the time, we were newly married. He was like, okay. When I didn't make it the first time, he said, "You are so close. You are actually really close." And he's like, "So here's the numbers, Gina." And he's
Yeah.
like, "You retire as a senior, this is it. You
Yeah.
retire as a chief, you ain't gotta work after this." So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's a
And
plan.
I was pregnant. I was pregnant at the time, and I was like, okay, let's do this. So I was focused on studying. I knew that that's the only thing that I could really control was my test scores.
Right.
So
Right.
um, by that time, I had gotten not that I advocate for this or anything. I had gotten a medication for my ADHD
Mhm.
and started to see a therapist, and they actually let me test alone. Now, one of my problems was I needed to read the questions out loud.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and so I would wait till a lot of people would leave, and I would just start kind of mumbling to myself. But I didn't realize that they would let you test if you go and see somebody for it. They would let you, with a
I did not
proctor.
know that. I wonder if
Yeah,
that's always
and
been the case.
I don't know. I mean, they said, hey, if you have trouble doing that, and I mean, I scored very high.
They didn't give you any grief about that.
No,
Oh,
not at all.
wow.
No, because once I was diagnosed, which I was off the chart and should have been on it a long time ago, but
Right.
I was like, man, you see the whole world differently. And it's like, wow, look at this. I could be president. So I mean,
Yeah.
I was ready to go after that. So I
That
was like,
opened up a
okay,
whole new
I
door.
can do this. It really was. It really was. It was like, so yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
I don't know. Did I answer your question?
No,
Because
you
see,
did. No, you
ran
did.
off.
You did. You totally did. Again, I'm just fascinated by the folks that once they make the pinnacle of the enlisted chain, that that's a huge deal. So good on you,
Yeah,
kiddo.
and I'm just I can't tell you, there were so many people that I needed to reach out to and
Mhm.
contact because you just start, it's like a montage. I will say once I disregard the people that had to come and tell me I made it, but it was
Mhm.
that moment. It's like a montage plan in your head going, how did I get here? And you're playing all this and you really get emotional about it.
Yeah.
It's just so much gratitude and just grateful. Like, and you start going, why, how me, why me, and what can I do with this to help the next person? And um,
What
and so
what
I
did you
did my.
what did you study in college?
I was a theater major,
Yeah.
theater and communications major. Then when I joined the military, I started doing criminal justice,
Okay.
and I I transferred my credits to there and criminal justice and psychology actually. So
All right. All right.
there you go.
What
Had a hair in my head, in my face.
would you have done anything different in your career? If you look back now, was there anything you would have tweaked, changed, maybe a slightly different path?
I
Ooh,
think
have you thought? Look at that. Have you thought?
I think I probably would have joined a regional band. I think I would have joined a regional band
Oh, now why?
because I didn't know that I couldn't leave.
Oh,
So
okay.
my whole goal was to travel. So I was like, when do we BCS out of this thing? So and we never do. So I was stuck in that cesspool of the National Capital Region for my entire career. So
I can see your point there, kiddo.
yeah, so I was saw all these bases and I was like, oh, I can't wait till I go to Hawaii or USAFE. I was so excited to do those things. And
Mhm. No,
I mean, I kind of auditioned in like it was fast. So it's not enough for me to study or figure out, but I knew that when I came back home from Tops and Blue as a cop, they were gonna murder me. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
was like I gotta get out of here quick.
Oh,
So
okay. So it was kind of a bit of a survival technique too to it.
yes, it was. Yes, indeed, it was.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
All right.
So,
Um, Tell me about the first time you sang in public.
oh boy, I church. I mean,
Okay.
church. I was just watching a video. We had a young a guy that I graduated with. His dad used to have all these VHS recordings of us in like kindergarten and stuff, and he
Oh,
would send them to me through Facebook. And my classmate just passed away, so we were looking at those videos, and it was at my kindergarten school, and we were doing a little performance, and
mhm.
I was Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water, and I was pulling old Jack down across the stage, and we was coming back to get
Pulling old Jack
hit
across.
his head. Yep, yep. That was my debut performance, man. It was the video is hilarious. That's like,
That is
boy,
great. Wow.
getting it.
What were you
And then,
listening
but
to?
then there's this still shot too of us like doing this, and I'm the only one with my arms always stretched out. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah. Everybody else is like this.
yeah.
So
Everybody's a
it's like the best.
Tyrannosaurus and you're way out.
Yeah.
Oh, making
But
yourself known real early.
yep, yep, that was it. Debut kindergarten.
Wow. What were you listening to during your formative years, during your teenage years? What music were you driven to? What artists were you locked into?
Oh man, I will say that any of the music in the 90s and 80s,
Mhm.
it was so hard for me because, we came from a big church background too, so you couldn't listen to too much
Right.
of that of the new music. And I always had a hard time because my dad just instilled a love of music in me. He was a bass player. So
Oh,
I think that's
nice.
why I'm so fond of you, Dave. So
Oh, stop.
he was a bass
Very
player
nice. I
and
like him
he
already.
played with Jimi Hendrix at one time.
Oh, shut up. What?
Yep, he played with Jimi Hendrix. Yep.
Wow.
So
Wow.
there's a picture when Jim before Jimi Hendrix was famous, he was
Yeah.
the Chitlin circuit that he traveled from Fort Campbell across here. And there was a major train station on Highway 70 here that goes across Tennessee, and we were one of the main hubs. And Tina Turner, Ike and Tina Turner Review would come here. Jimi Hendrix and all those different groups would come
Wow.
on that Chitlin circuit there, and he was in the house band that would play for him.
Amazing. Wow.
Yep. But anyway, what was I saying?
Oh, music
What
that
was the
you
question?
gravitated to.
Yes, music. So he was the type that was like, he thought I was going to sing for a living. So he said, you need to listen to everything. You
Yeah.
need to be familiar.
Good
And he
man.
taught me harmonies. He taught me harmonies. Listen to that. Listen to how smooth that sounds. So I grew up on Motown, um, 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 Merle Haggard. I mean, I was watching Howdy
Hmm.
Hee Haw and I mean it was a just a vast range, and he would teach me the he didn't know what he was teaching me, but he would teach me the comparisons of what is, oh, this is just jazz music, or this is just gospel music. Jazz has its roots in gospel and blah 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 blah. And he just really educated me to a point where that even at an early age in elementary school, I had an appreciation for old music and stuff. I mean, I remember singing like Sadie in like the sixth grade, and I'm like, why am I singing this? But it was, I had an old tape that I would play,
Hmm.
and I loved the old stuff. That was my thing. And Earth, Wind and Fire, Chicago. He was always listening to some of the greatest bass players ever,
Hmm.
and yeah, and so when I got to join the band and perform with some heavies, he was just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe my
Oh, I
daughter's
can't
doing this."
imagine. I
So,
can't imagine.
so he was very, very proud of me.
Wow.
So, and I'm just glad I was able. He died in
And rightly so.
2013, but he taught me so much.
Wow. I like him already. Very nice. That's exciting.
Yep. I miss him.
Wow.
I miss him. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about your
Cool
path.
dude.
Let's talk about your path to TIB. So you saw the
Okay.
show in 2000 and you said, I want to be that. I want to be in that. Um,
Hmm.
so I want to hear about your audition tape. I want to hear what you did, what you sang. Now I remember the
By
2001.
the way, thank you.
What? What?
I was gonna say, by the way, thank you, Sarah, for doing that song at the retirement ceremony, because it just, once again, I had the montage going in my head, like it just took me all the way back there. It
Yeah.
smelled the same. I cried like a baby when I heard her singing it.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it was just heartfelt, and I loved that. And she sounded just as good as she did in 2000.
She's amazing. Absolutely
So
amazing.
it was awesome.
Yeah. So tell me about your pathway to TIB 2001. What tape did you send in? What did you sing? I want to hear all the stuff.
Let me tell you, I was groomed by the one and only Miss Lorna. I was groomed. They sent in the video, they did all that, Miss Glow and them. And so the Caps really took care of me once I got with them. Now, mind you, I was rough around the edges. I was a cop, so I was all tomboy, and they told me I had to wear a dress, and I freaked out. Like I was like,
Really?
what?
You freaked
Heels
out?
too? Yeah, man. I was like, this is not good. So
This is
I
not
said, I
good.
can sing, but you want me to get on a stage and do this?
Want me to
So
do what?
yeah, it was weird. I just didn't want to perform in a dress, but it was, I had this gold dress, and yeah, I had to pretend I was sexy.
So
And
you weren't so you weren't in front of a refrigerator or a microwave doing a number
no,
recording.
no, it
No.
it was in a gym. It was in a gym, um, outside the Virginia Gate somewhere. It was in a gym, and there was a stage there, and
Oh,
we got to do the recording. But I got to do my audition song, which was "A House Is Not a Home," and I distinctly remember Barry calling me and trying to cut the song because A House Is Not a Home is about 20 minutes long,
Yeah, it's a
and,
bathroom song.
and
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So he walked me through the cuts and everything, and then I was going to San Antonio.
So who called you? Who let you know? Was it Lorna or did somebody from Texas call you?
I don't know. I have no idea. I know the cop squadron
Oh,
was mad though. So, but they, I don't know who called me, to be honest with you, because you hear a voice. I don't know. I have no recollection of who those people were because they were
right,
so outside of my realm. I had
right,
no
right,
idea who they were.
right. It
Yeah,
could have been
so
it could have been Ed, it could have been
it
Jerry, it
could,
could have
it could
been
have been,
yeah.
it could have been, but I was like, it's somebody important.
When
So
you made it, um, did your base let you know? Or did they call you? Well, I guess I should retract that last question. Did Texas notify you or did the base notify you?
the
Did the wing
base
commander?
notified me, I believe. I believe the base did notify me.
Okay.
Yes. It wasn't like a big thing though, because once again, the cops were still fighting me,
Yeah.
fighting against this. So
Right.
I think I had to end up getting like general's approval from the base to even go. So it was a fight on that end.
Was
I mean, I really don't know the ins and outs of it, but I was like, you promised. So,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you promised I could go,
Yeah,
why would you
you
let me
signed
go all the
something.
way here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to worldwide and everything, and you not letting me go? Like, what's up?
Yeah.
And I had won. So I had my supervisor fighting for me, like she won the whole thing down there. So why are you let her do this? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I was best of show. Yeah. Weren't you best of show?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you came back with all that and they still gave you a hard time?
yeah, yeah. They did.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
all good.
intriguing to me how bases, I mean, was security police during that time period an understaffed career field?
There they were because
Yeah.
they had a backlog in clearances.
Mm,
So there was some guilt there because I was like, man, here they are spending all this money to give me a Yankee White clearance, one of the
yeah.
highest clearances ever, and I'm piece.
But
So I get it, but don't give me your word and then not
yeah,
want to.
that's good. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Had they said no, I would have did my job. I would have saluted smartly, but
Yeah.
don't make no bet
Oh
with
yeah.
me and then lose.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Did you sing the same song at Worldwide? Because I do not remember.
I did.
I,
I did.
oh,
I
okay.
did. I did. Yeah, yeah. It was fun. It was fun. I was nervous. We were the last show, but the biggest thing was being on the team that I was on. So it was me, Walt, Keisha. I mean, we had some
Yeah.
awesome people on our team.
Everything.
Natalia. So a lot of us went on tour eventually. So
Yeah.
and we just had a fun team, and we were Team Six. So we were the last show, and we were by that time we were ready to go because
Now,
I had Percy as my team leader,
oh, see, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. You
and
had all
and
the right
Donna
people.
and
Yep.
Donna
Donna.
and
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So I just and they was like, yep, go sit down because they would listen to you and they'd be like, yeah, Lorna's got you. Go sit down somewhere. Go over and practice. So
The corner.
that was I'm just so grateful that she I felt confident until the final banquet. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's usually how it goes. You think it went well, and then
yeah, yeah.
you really
Or
don't
or when
know.
you start seeing some of the talent, you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, I'm not as ready as I thought I was.
Yeah. There's a lot of imposter syndrome going on during that whole time period. A lot of imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
Do you remember who won the Wilco in the female vocalist category that year? Who did you beat? I guess is my real question.
I may be lying because I know Tony Marshall was in that one. Kashina, I believe,
Oh,
won
okay.
the Wilco. I think
Okay.
Kashina. She married Mario. I don't know if
Yep.
you
Oh yeah. Yep.
Mayor Kashina now.
Mayor Kashina. Yeah.
She's doing awesome things.
Yep.
And she said, according to all sources, I remember her wearing like a lot of silver. She looked like aluminum foil out there, and she was wearing, and she And I don't know if you remember because she was huge. So I mean, like muscular, like
Yeah.
Miss Olympia big.
Yeah.
And I was like, this chick is bad. So, but I don't even know if she won, but in my mind she did. So
And
I don't know.
the reason I asked that is I'm fascinated by the folks that have won Roger. Whether it was back in the finals, back in my days when we had finals, the semifinals, that kind of thing. A lot of folks can't remember who the second place was. And
Isn't that
typically
funny?
back in my day, when they had the big arena worldwides, there was this huge staircase and they brought all the finalists up.
Yeah,
So my, instrumental group, there was me at the top of the staircase and Zeph Smith.
that's
And
crazy.
I'm like, this is the most unreal
Zeph,
thing. Yeah.
that's a bad man.
So I'm always fast. I know exactly who I beat or who my potpourri group beat. I know exactly who I got beat by, but a lot of folks don't
Wow.
remember who they beat to get to Roger.
Well, it's a blur, man. Like it
It is a blur,
really
but
is a
that's a
blur.
big event.
Now, I
That's
will
a huge
say,
event.
I think I was drunk at the banquet, so I'm pretty sure I was drunk. So I'm quite
Shot,
sure I was.
shot, shot,
So
shot, shot.
because so so I got female vocal, and I thought I was done. It's like
Yeah.
go sit down and take a shot, get a drink. So I finally, once I got female vocal, I didn't know I won Best in Show. So, and I had to stagger my way up there. So I don't know who won hardly anything. I know Remo placed because he was a cap. So, um,
Wow.
yeah, I was a
Wow.
cop, man. I was a
I
cop. So,
Yeah,
and
I
we
get
knew how to
you.
have fun.
I get you. So I've talked to a lot of folks and just so people know out there in Blue Land, I do this kind of randomly. I try to find out who's available to do these podcasts. I know there's been some complaints about you're not going far enough back in time, the 60s and 70s, and
Yeah,
I'm getting there, folks. But you got to find out who's available first and who can do it.
right.
So I know if I've been kind of 2001 heavy
Yeah,
so far
yeah.
this season, which is
I
fine.
saw Shane on there, and yeah, yeah.
Walt,
You don't have to ask me any questions about 2001.
well, but I want to know. I'm curious because it was, the 9/11 going on. I always like to hear everybody's version. I should say I like to hear it. I'm fascinated by folks' version of what happened during that time period of our life when you were on tour during 9/11. I know Walt gave a great, insight into it, but I'm curious as to what you remember during that time period.
Yeah, I remember us being in Spain. We were in Spain. I'm pretty sure of it. Rota, Spain.
Rhoda, okay.
And I believe we had already set up the set, and mind you, we're ahead, so it was later on that evening for us.
Hmm.
But we had to. They said come back to the room, and we got to watch. We actually watched the second tower go down in our rooms. So by that time, they called us back, and we just didn't know. I know Hossman, who's awesome. He was another cop. Me and him really shared a moment because we felt like we needed to go back. Like
Yeah, yeah,
there was a sense
yeah.
of like our guys are out here, and I was in the National Capital Region, so that really hit home for me.
Oh, that's
Um,
right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I was in. My family was trying to contact me. They didn't really know where I was. And you remember the phone lines were all down forever.
Yep.
So it was a couple of days. And I just remember there was a few people, like Natalia, who has a mom in New York. And we were just so distraught because we couldn't get out. We couldn't talk to anybody. So it was a couple of days before we could even do that. And just the unknown, like what happens. And I just knew we were going home. I just knew it.
Mhm.
There was no doubt in my mind that we were going home. And but then they said when they dropped us off at Sembach, it was almost like we're not even telling you where we're going,
Mhm.
where we're going. It was kind of like, where are we going? They said we're not going to our normal. The schedule's done. We're not doing
Yeah.
that. And so they revamped the entire schedule. They revamped the show. We had a patriotic opener versus a whole new world that we were doing at the beginning.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
we added so many voices to them. They come from everywhere. It could. And we were sitting in that little club, and Jay and I was we were helping with vocals. They were sending us music to learn. And we learned a few new pieces to add a pre ceremony. And so I think I found a while it was hard, I felt more purpose by being there. And I think I did talk to Ed Jones at one point because he was with his mom or something in matches.
Mhm.
And he said, you can do more with your gift here than you can as a cop back there. And
In typical Ed Jones fashion, right there.
yeah, yeah. And I was like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a long conversation either. I just remember being able to talk to him and just saying, I don't know if I can do this or not. So
Mhm.
yep,
Wow.
yep.
That's a,
And but other than that, we added that set and it was a beautiful set. And I think we moved Let Freedom Ring and all that stuff. So we had bumpers. We had patriotic on the front and the back.
yeah. Yeah.
And we went, everybody was like America.
Mhm.
And so we were NASCAR, we were all these new venues and things. So it shook us up and they extended our tour by 2 months, I believe,
Mhm.
um, to accommodate some of the stuff that we were doing without having to put a pause in the tour. So there was momentum, so they didn't
Can you
pause
imagine
it.
the logistics to take that schedule of that 10 months and just toss it out the window past September, redo it, figure out who really wants you, who doesn't want you, what makes sense for the show? Does it make sense to come back? Does it make sense to continue and just keep this esprit de corps going? I mean, there's a lot of questions
Man,
that had to be
it's a
answered.
small office back there. So it's,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Carol and I mean all that little small contingent, that core group, man, they kept us on the road,
amazing.
which is amazing. And I'm sure the genius of Chief and all that. So it kept us on the road and we were there at such an important time. And
Yeah,
and I just hope everybody understands the magnitude of what we were able to do during that time. It was pretty awesome. And I mean, that's something that we'll never forget. None of us will ever forget where we were. But my story is a little different compared to some of the others
yeah.
that was, that might have been here or whatever. So
Mhm.
it was
True.
special.
You if you had to pick a part of that tour that was, I mean, excluding the 9/11 time period, was there a part of that tour that just really sticks out for you other than that part? That was everything kind of set aside as far as, wanting to see Greece or certain parts of the world after 9/11? Did the mindset change after 9/11 versus pre 9/11 as far as how you approached the tour and what you wanted to get out of it, or what you thought the airmen and their families should get out of it?
Yeah, it was survival mode. And I'm sure you've heard from the other ones. It was a rough tour and we lost a lot of people.
Mhm.
So, and I think it was for a litany of reasons. But the mindset did kind of change. It wasn't fun, but we knew how to have fun, obviously.
Mhm.
Um, but we lost some good ones and we were a small group, so it was hard. It was hard
Yeah.
with Shane and Greg Jordan and them trying to keep us together and keep it moving and keep us on the road, and keeping us set up on time, putting everything back in the box. We were missing bodies, like for
And
real, that last
motivated
part of the tour.
and to keep you
Yeah, so
motivated. Yeah.
it was hard. I think and I think I was one of the ones when we sat down and said, "Can we finish this tour?" kind of thing. It was when they brought us back to Lackland and
Mhm.
just had to stay for a couple of days. And I think one of the Air Force generals or somebody stopped and was like, we're going to stop the tour and all this stuff. And we had the Northern Tier left. I hate that I was, but I think I was one of the ones that we can't do this. But for me, I was scared for us. I was scared
Yeah.
that we had to go up there in the winter time
Yeah.
and people were getting injured. People couldn't get along. I mean, like it wasn't just, like fussing or fighting or anything. It was like,
There was real
can
issues.
we physically make this,
Yeah.
right? So I was really genuinely worried that we couldn't make it, but guess what? And then I think I might have been the only one that said I don't think we can make it. And then everybody else was like, let's do this, who
Yeah.
you with? That's what Walt says all the time, and
Yeah.
rally the troops, and off we go, and we made it. We made it.
Wow.
We finished. We were like dragging like this, wounded.
All
We
right.
needed Purple
Yeah.
Hearts for that one.
Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. Um,
But that was my last one. I wasn't going no more after that.
I
So
hear you.
I didn't do a repeat.
I said that too, but it didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
What was if you take away all the bad stuff that happened in the tour, the infighting and whatever else went on and all the interpersonal
Yeah.
issues and
Which is
9/11,
typical with
which
every
is
tour,
typical with
right?
every
So
tour. If you were
yeah.
to, again, if I was to put 50 priors in this podcast, in the aggregate, in general, we'd all have the same stories about issues on tour, right? We'd all have the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
basic stories.
Yep.
Aside from all the stuff that happened in the negative side, what was your favorite part about touring?
Other than the people,
Mm-hmm.
I think my 5, 6, 7, 8 year old self just loved the different places that we went.
Mm-hmm.
I was from country bumpkin, Tennessee, and I used to take a globe and I would spin it and I would go.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom had bought us an encyclopedia set, and she worked hard for that thing. And I'd look at the country, and I'd go look it up, and in the encyclopedia, and learn everything about it, like what language do they speak and what
Oh,
kind of people they
cool.
are. And I was fascinated by that. I would go to the library and research these countries, and we went to some of them, and I recalled some of
Oh,
those countries that we went. It was just wild being able to go to some of those places, like Guam. Like I had never even heard of a Guam before, but then we went there on tour, and like I'm here. So I think those that just made me very, nostalgic, and like a full circle moment, kind of like, wow, I'm actually getting to do this.
yeah.
I'm
That's pretty
getting to
cool.
do this. I can't believe this. Yeah, so I guess that was probably the best part, other than the people, because
Right.
they're my family.
Are you a different person on stage than you are here?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm whoever you want me to be on stage.
You can
It's
put,
really like, what do you want me to be?
yeah. I
Um,
mean, you're a thespian, so it makes sense to me.
it's a husband, yes.
Yeah, yes.
But yeah, it just depends. I do become, I feel like another creature whenever I'm really into it. If a lyric triggers me, or
Yeah.
if I try not to, if I'm performing as Regina and not a character or something, I am I believe a very different person,
Yeah.
because it really is about the audience and trying to convey a message to them
Yeah.
through the lyric and through the way I'm delivering it.
I was a completely different person on stage.
Yeah.
I was
I bet you are a beast.
I was I was the guy that I made sure that you saw me hit a certain note at a certain time in a certain way,
That's awesome.
especially during the patriotic set. If you go look at any TIB 1993 videos, especially during Let Freedom Ring, you're gonna see
Okay.
Dave Jackson going nuts middle stage.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
watch
see,
it.
and I was like that. I've said this lots of times in this podcast. The patriotic set was my favorite set to play because it felt like a rock opera to me.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it had such good
Wow.
power chords in it, and had such good phrasing, and it was just
Oh,
such.
that was some good ones.
It was so powerful for me, and that
What was
I
your favorite? What was your favorite one?
uh Let Freedom Ring was my absolute favorite to play.
Yeah, I love that one. Oh my
Just because of
gosh.
the way uh Terry Griffey wrote that piece for us, it was just so powerful, but it carried me through that whole patriotic set. I was a stomping power chord, arm swinging fool during the patriotic
Now
set.
I gotta see it, man. I gotta see that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I had a great time during other sets, but I for some reason the patriotic set just really brought out the stage on me.
Yeah,
It did. What was your least favorite
that's
part of touring?
awesome. Oh boy. The sleep. I'm one that even in college I was I could sleep in a club. So I was I was like,
That's the
when I
majority
was
of the answer.
tired, I was tired, and I would just shut down, and it was funny. There's videos of like me and Natalia just trying to like this.
Yeah.
You know, we're just trying to load the truck, and it's just like, oh my God. But I
There,
couldn't understand how people had so much energy to go out and tour and stuff when we had a break. I was like, and I was young. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I cannot. No, we got to go set this thing up in a minute. So
yeah,
I didn't get around to a lot of places.
I didn't either. I didn't either. I was real big on sleep. I was real big on rest.
Yes,
Real
I
big on
don't
rest.
function.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Um,
Yep.
what's your favorite in relationship to your music and your thespian world? What's your favorite movie that you gravitate to whenever it comes on TV? You're like, I gotta watch this, even if it's for 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Tombstone would be the first one to
Oh,
come to mind.
you and Libby and me can sit down and watch Tombstone sometime.
Oh my God, I will always stop and watch
Yeah,
Val Kilmer
such
ride
a
that
good movie.
horse into
Yep,
the sunset. So
yep,
um that one and Shawshank
oh yeah, yep,
Redemption.
yep.
Life is another one because it's funny as heck.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah, with Eddie Murphy and them.
yep, yep.
Um, if I ever had an idol, which I don't, but one of the people that I grew up listening to my whole life and trying to emulate was Tina Turner.
Mhm.
So What's Love Got to Do with It was one of my other favorites too. So
I
um
need to go back and watch. I haven't watched that in a while. I don't know why my shadow's all of a sudden creeping up on me.
oh all those
Um,
songs, man. I had the dance moves and everything memorized on them jokers.
really?
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved that movie. Just her in general. Like that was one of my biggest regrets is not seeing her live. I never got to see her live. Like
Oh
when she
yeah, yeah.
passed away, I mourned her like I would mourn a mom or something. Like it was crazy. It was
Yeah,
crazy. So anytime that's on, I'm watching it because Angela Bassett did a phenomenal job on that too. So
I need to go back and watch that
what else?
again.
Yeah. So those are the four that come to mind, but I'm one of those that every now and then I'm like, my favorite, A League of Their Own.
Oh, League of Their Own. Good
That's
pick.
another one.
Good
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Yep. Yep.
What TV show did you gravitate to when you were a kid? Did you have TV? I'm assuming you had at least three channels.
Right, right. Soul Train on
Whole
Saturday.
Train on Saturday. Yeah.
That might have been my favorite, but um, the thing that makes me most nostalgic when it does come on now is Gilligan's Island and it was the morning with my granny at my granny's house. So it was Gilligan's Island, I Dream of Jeannie, and
Wow.
Bewitched.
All the
So
classics.
those were like yeah, yeah. So they came on back to back, and my granny would sit there with her little coffee cup that she would slurp out of the saucer
Yep. Yep.
and we'd watch our little show with our toast and oatmeal. So, but that's
I had
the
such a crush on
when I
Barbie.
see those shows, I will watch them.
Yeah. That's a good choice. Good choice. Um, what actor? I know you mentioned what's his
Angela
name?
Bassett
Yeah. No,
and
from
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. What actor do you gravitate to now that you're in the world of, you're knee deep in the world of acting and whatnot? What
I'm
actor?
really not knee deep. I'm really flying by the seat of my pants in that stuff.
Well,
I
you're
can't
more
even
knee
believe
deep
they'd
than I
even
am.
pick me to do that stuff. So, but I thought Val Kilmer was a phenomenal actor. So all the stuff he
No
did.
question.
I
No
mean,
question.
if you look at all the roles that he played in his body of work, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
Johnny Depp is another one
Yep.
that I think that he could morph into anything.
Correct.
Um, I really don't have.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair.
I just like the movies. I mean, I don't really.
What
Those are
movie
two
were
that I go, man, he can do any. I'll see a new movie and I'm like, is that Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
those are the two that I believe that, yeah, they're my favorite.
I just hope AI doesn't ruin it for all these actors and whatnot.
No, I know it's sad.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
really sad. And
a-
then you don't even know what's real, even
yeah,
if
you just
they
don't know. You just
are.
don't know
So,
anymore. You just don't know anymore. What
yeah,
song gives you comfort? If you're in a down mood, you're having a bad day, what song gives you comfort?
definitely songs that my dad sang.
Oh, very nice.
Daddy's Home, House of the Rising Sun,
Oh, good. Nice.
um, Your Precious Love, that one.
Yeah.
And we used to sing as a duet, Unforgettable, and that's probably the one.
Is there any tapes of you two doing that? Any video?
Yes, we
Oh,
have a
man,
recording.
that'd be
By
awesome.
that time he was on oxygen, but he still sounded great.
Still sounded great.
Uh,
Wow.
yeah.
Um,
Yep.
what comfort food do you enjoy? What's your favorite comfort food? Now, when I say comfort food, now I'm preempting this because when I think of
Man,
comfort
I
food,
heard like lasagna and they were what was that?
I'm like lasagna.
What was that lasagna? What else
Yeah, I mean
was it?
that's
I
for
was like
dinner.
comfort food. What is that?
Yeah, what's your comfort food go to?
I know I've never I mean, I'm not picking one. I have like three of everything. So
Okay,
hot fries, um
what's wrong with that?
pepper, black pepper, sunflower seeds.
Wait. Oh, okay, I got you. All right, I had to think about that for a
That's
second.
just a cracked pepper flavor.
Yep, yep.
Um I mean, I'll throw that in my mouth
Now, do you
like
eat
a
the
dip,
whole seed, or are
like
you a
you.
gifted person?
No, I'm the one that goes from one side to the other with my
Okay,
shells.
right.
So and my other one is hot fries with extra salt at McDonald's.
Wow, very
So hot
simplistic.
fries, the chips, and then fries from McDonald's.
Are you a person? Well, so your fries are pretty simplistic, just the basics. So you're not real big on the chili and the cheese, none of that kind of thing. See, I'm
Give
with
me
you
some
on that one.
salty.
Don't overdo it
Don't
with the
mess
fries.
my fries up.
Yeah, don't overdo
Mm-mm,
it with the
mm-mm.
fries.
Unless
Now,
they're home fries and you can throw an onion in there.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I like malt vinegar on fries.
Oh yeah, that's good
Yeah,
too. That's good. The crinkle ones.
the crinkled ones. Correct, correct.
That's good.
Um,
Give me hungry day.
yeah, I know. I'm thinking the same thing. Now I'm gonna do something I haven't done with any of the priors before.
Come on, let's do it.
I
I'm
have
excited.
I have a pile of paperwork here. So I came up with questions specifically generated for you that
Ooh,
you
I see your Rogers back there.
oh yeah, got my Roger, my Wilco,
Oh yeah.
and see, hang on. This right, hang on, that thing right
Yeah,
there,
yeah. What is that?
that's the Judge's Special Recognition Award. You
They
ever heard of
had
that?
that?
Well, funny you should
No.
ask. That's a
Tell
great
me.
question, Regina. So they used to have back in the day, and I need to talk to Chief about this because I haven't got a solid, well, I do have kind of a solid answer from Ed Knox, but I haven't got it confirmed. I haven't got two versions of this yet. So back in the day, during the big worldwide days, the big convention center days, if there was a judge, so we had preliminaries and we had finals.
Okay.
Um, so the specialty the judges were like music producers and whatnot. They were people in the field.
Amazing.
Um, and what I believe what happens is, from what I've been hearing, is that if a judge really wanted to see you in finals, the other judges didn't agree, or if that judge thought you were something spectacular and their judges thought, yeah, well, he's okay, whatever. A judge or a couple
Mm-hmm.
judges thought you deserved that award, but not the Roger and the Wilco. And they only issued one. So the 1991 talent, my first worldwide in 91, I was on the MAC team before I became AMC. I was the
Yeah.
only person on the team to win an award that year. No Rogers or Wilcos, but I got the Judges Special Recognition Award. And I'm like,
Wow.
what?
That seems almost better.
Yeah,
That seems
yeah.
almost better.
It was really
Because that encompasses all the categories too, right?
well. I I
Or
want to
each
say
category.
no, but I'm not exactly sure because again that was a blur. But I think there was one for each category. I believe.
Yeah, that's
I'll have to find
cool.
out. But yeah, they used to have special recognition awards. I'm not sure what year they stopped it. It may have been 92 or 93. But
What'd you do that year?
I did a self-written bass piece, and it was called
You did a self-written bass piece?
"All My." Okay, listen. Okay, not no no.
That's awesome.
You put Dave on the spot here. I started talent shows after I saw the '83 Tops in Blue at RAF Bentwaters. That was Jose Finn's first tour. I saw Jose Finn
Oh, I love her.
in Bentwaters, England. So
Okay.
that's what got me the bug. So from that point on, I started doing talent shows. It took me till
Mhm.
1991 to finally make it. So 83 to 91 to finally make it to worldwide. But um,
Wow. Okay.
my
That's
first
crazy.
talent show, base level talent show, was in an instrumental group. And we did Rush's 2112 and Temples of Syrinx, a complete instrumental. We won, got to the next
Yes, I
we
love
got
it.
we won at base level, got beat at the regional level. And from that point on,
Mhm.
next year I did an instrumental group with the same guys. We wrote an original piece, won, but then got beat at regionals. So by the time I rotated back to the States, I decided I was just going to do bass solo stuff, instrumental solo category. And I just started writing my own pieces. And ever since I started writing my own pieces, I mean, you can't see them all, but all the base level,
Right.
command, regional trophies were all stuff that I wrote.
Crazy.
I only had a band accompaniment once, and that was in '89, where I actually wrote a piece, and I had somebody write the charts for the band to play with me. Other than
Yeah.
that, it was just me on stage, and that Roger,
That's awesome. I
yeah,
mean, you got to have some balls to do that. That's
well,
crazy.
it was one of those things where I said, well, let me back up a little bit more. I didn't study music. I started playing bass because of girls. Um, I mean,
Chicks do dig bass players.
I was a hobbyist thing. I had no intention. Well, I kind of did, but I knew I wasn't going to be a professional musician because I didn't study. I didn't take it in school. I
Right.
wasn't a jazz band guy. None of that. I was a rock bassist. I learned bass lines by flipping records and 8 tracks and cassettes.
Yep. Yep.
But I decided that was what I was going to do. So I just started writing my own stuff, and I just started winning.
That's awesome.
Started
That
winning.
is a good story, man. That's awesome.
The Roger.
And I mean,
Roger
but you're when you write your own stuff and you perform you're connected to it in a way that none of the other contestants are connected to their song. I
well,
mean, and I'm
unless
sure
you're
the
a real
judges would see
savvy
that.
musician, they don't know if you make a mistake too. The real musicians would hear a mistake, but your
Hey,
average audience would
that's
not know if you
awesome.
made a mistake. So,
Well, do they have your chart whenever you're performing? Do
they
they have
did
your chart?
the one time
Okay, you would
I
raise
played
them.
with a band. That was only once when I played with a pit band. Yeah, they had the charts. Other than that was just me on stage. But to your
Oh
point
yeah,
about
they wouldn't know if you messed up or not.
they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. But to your point, the very first song I did in '91, if I got this year right, was a song I wrote called "A Romulan Night." So Star Trek based thing.
Yes.
Where I did harmonics on the bass for the opening of the Star Trek theme song, and I went on my
Oh,
piece. So Ed Knox comes out. He's wearing a red Star Trek tunic shirt from the show, and he comes out and he says, "I'm on the stage in the dark, me and my bass, waiting to
yeah,
go
yeah, yeah,
on."
yeah.
So he comes out
Yeah.
between the curtain and does the introduction. He says, and just like this, he says, "Captain Kirk, Spock, Dr. McCoy, and Ensign Leibowitz beam down to a planet. Which one dies first?" Dude, I had to tell Ed that story when we had the thing for Chief. And it was
Oh my gosh. And
such
you
a
know,
memory.
I really didn't even I've never talked to Ed before, but he's great. He's
Oh,
great.
he's
I mean,
hysterical.
I've experienced TA and his genius and all that, but they were very
Those
entertaining up there.
those two
So
are a team. They are
yeah,
so good at what
yeah,
their
they
craft.
really are. I mean, that I haven't seen a bad MC yet as far as that's concerned.
Oh yeah,
Between
no,
Khalil and
I
Walt and
yep,
I
I
mean,
would
we have
absolutely
got
agree.
some amazing MCs, but that was my first time experiencing Mr. Knox, so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was cool.
It was those were the days. Um,
Yep, yep.
oh yeah, so back to my new thing I was gonna try. So I have a bunch of papers down here that kind of look
Okay.
like your the stuff I had written for you, but these are from other guests. So I'm gonna
Oh,
randomly pick questions from my floor. I'm gonna mix them up here and see if I got some questions that I can make applicable to you.
okay. Let's see here.
Oh,
Anything.
okay. That's my housekeeping question, so we can't use those.
Uh-oh.
What show or event is seared in your brain, specific to tour? A show or event that's just seared into your brain.
Um, the first thing that comes to mind is Yukon Ball.
Oh, that's a biggie.
Yeah, it was huge, and I was mortified, but the setup was like a small elevator, like
Mhm.
the size of this chair, and
Yeah,
we had to somehow get all of our equipment up
stuff up.
there, and it was one of those let's pull a 48-hour shift kind of thing, and it was no sleep. We had to get it done. We had to do this huge Yukon Ball and put it back in the box slowly. But it was one of those nights where I don't remember much else
Yeah.
because I don't do well with that with sleep, but we got through it. It was one of those things where I was like, I don't think we're gonna make this. So it was so many times when I was like, how did we get through that? How did we
Yeah.
get through that? But that was one of them. That was the one thing that sticks out. Yeah.
What's
Ball.
second question, second mystery question. What is the biggest screw up that you remember that you did on stage?
I mean, I've fallen like no telling how many times. I've had wigs fall off. I was watching an old one video where I went out there from the very beginning. I was doing a little pose. This is in the opening, one of the
Uh-huh.
opening numbers. Yeah, we're in the little tuxedo outfits. And the first thing I did, don't stop the music. And we go do something like that, the lane choreograph. And I saw me grab my ponytail. And the whole time I was dancing like this.
Wow.
Because I was so afraid that the ponytail was going to fall off, which would have been the first time.
Well,
So,
how was that
but
secured on there?
who knows? I mean, I was horrible with that stuff, but
Was it duct
I'm
tape
sure it
or
was
was
a
it a clip?
drawstring. It was a drawstring,
Okay.
but it probably, we used to do, so you're trying to dance all hard, and all of a sudden that ponytail was not as secure as I thought it was. So we started securing that thing really, really well.
Yeah.
But the biggest one was when we weren't in a hurry or anything, but I walked out. I did a whole new world with you know, our tour director,
Mhm.
Lord have mercy. His name would come to me, Colonel. Um, he, and I come out from the top, a whole new world. Well, I
Yeah.
got on this little gold black thing
Uh-huh.
and supposed to be some heels, some black dance shoes. And I came out in my khakis, brown shoes.
Wow.
And I remember looking down at my feet going, what in the world? And I was so embarrassed. I was like, I hope nobody can see this. But the whole time I was just, all I could do was laugh. So I was
You just
basically
went with
cracking
it.
up the
You
entire
just went with
time.
it.
Yeah, I just went with it, but it was funny. It was funny. But we've had lots of falls, and there's too many to count of those. But the shoes was like, how did I forget my shoes? How did I forget to put my shoes on?
Yeah. I can see. Well, you guys did like how many changes did you guys do on your tour? How many times did you have to
Oh,
change
I
the
can't
wardrobe?
even.
4, 5, 6,
I would
7?
say 7 or 8.
Oh yeah, easily probably.
Because we even had two or three during the patriotic set alone. So you had to
Yeah.
go, and we had to switch because we opened up with the patriotic. We ended up having to go back and forth. So we
Right.
would have to put it back on, I believe,
Wow.
last time. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken. So it was quite a few, and depends because you were in some numbers, weren't in some numbers, but some were like quick changes, and you just did the best you can. But yeah, sometimes you forget your shoes.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of those, when you got too much time
Oh
and you
yeah,
just
you get
kind of chilling in the
lackadaisical.
bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just kind of going, okay, whatever. And you slowly putting your makeup on, and then you just walk out in your brown shoes that you would walk around in because you didn't want to walk around in heels the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what
But
happened.
if you've got time to chill backstage, you don't want to do it in heels. If
Exactly.
you got 3
Exactly.
minutes to chill,
That's right. That's right. I'm not wearing heels.
yeah, yeah. Did you ever hit the infamous or famous wall after tour?
No, as I told you before, I hit the ground running, and
Done.
and it was hard to hit a wall. Yeah, it was like, get me out of this squadron. I did hit a bit of a wall just because the transition into the band was so drastic from
Ooh,
being a cop to being Tops and Blue, which was much closer
yeah,
in comparison than being in the band.
yeah, yeah.
So there were lots of growing pains there. Um, Being very um, military regimented and oriented to
Mhm.
people that had a musician's type of brain,
Yeah.
and trying to adjust to that
Well, let's talk
was
about
very
that.
hard. And people talk about the work ethic and all that
Yeah.
too. So go
Did you have
ahead.
a hard time transitioning into the band?
Oh, you went. Yeah, yeah. It was I mean, looking back, it wasn't, but in my mind at that time, it was like, what's wrong with these people? So it was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, they didn't come to work at 7:30. They didn't do any of that stuff. So I was like, what is happening? Are they really in the military? So,
Yeah.
but the truth was they all had their collateral duties. They weren't held to a schedule except for their rehearsal time.
Mhm.
So that was hard for me. And I felt that if I did other stuff like in the office, I was still there every morning at 7:30. I felt like I I just felt like I should have been rewarded for that, but it was like, we don't care that you come in here at 7:30, so, putting you in for a war for that. So, but just little things like that. That was the biggest adjustment. But when you're doing music that you love and you're
Yeah.
you're participating in creating and stuff, it's bittersweet.
Well,
It was.
that begs the question: when you got in the Air Force band, did they treat you differently? I know I've heard all kinds of stories about folks in blue that transition to the band, either vocalists or instrumentalists, and there's always
Yeah.
stories, good and bad. But what was the vibe like when you got there? Were they very welcoming? Were they like, oh, another Tops and Blue person? I mean, how did
No, actually, I Miss Tracy was there at the time.
Oh, that's
Tracy Wright
right. I
was there.
forgot about Troy. That's
Yes, she
right.
was. She
Oh
was.
yeah,
I
you
don't
had
know
an
if
in.
you remember. I don't know if you remember Irma Mendich.
I remember Irma.
She was. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
there working up in CSS, and she was band. And she sang with the country band before she was working up in CSS. So they were my two support systems.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
um,
Oh, good.
and
Good,
I
good,
went to
good.
them for everything. So if I didn't have them, and Tracy transitioned out soon after, but she was there. Thank God she was an angel for me for that period of time. That the growing pains weren't so bad. But I did get challenged. The pedigree is ridiculous there. So, um, but it was funny because I did read music. I did do those things. So, I mean, I'd been educated before in music, so, and studied theory and classical and all that. So they would try to challenge me all the time and throw music in my face.
Mhm.
And it's like, it wasn't my bosses. It was more the people that were same rank as me.
Mhm.
And they had been there a year or so more than me.
Right.
But I transitioned the same time as Kristen Foley, and so we were able to lean on each other. We were the two
Oh, good.
female vocalists, and Shani had went to work full time back office with the diversity program, so she stopped singing along with Tracy, and then we started being the vocalists for the rock band. And so we could lean on each other. We were brand new in the system, and she's about to retire December 20th, but she left there after 4 years. She was getting out of there. I mean, they eat their own just like cops. I
Oh,
mean, they really do.
well, is it
You got to survive.
so it's competitive in the Air Force band?
Can you imagine though, coming in the same rank as somebody and then never leaving?
Oh, that's a good
And
point.
then getting promoted above them or having
Good point.
relationships with them, and then you're a chief and they're still a master sergeant and you're their supervisor now. Like,
Yeah.
it was Tops and Blue, like extended version of Tops
Yeah.
and Blue.
Yeah.
So it was like, so you had all these dynamics
Wow.
that was, and so would have to switch bands because so and so used to date so and they can't supervise each. It was a lot of that, and old hurts and stuff. So you can't just go to another career field or to your next duty station and start all over. There was no starting all over.
Wow.
You
I
carried
had
that.
no
So
idea.
if you burned a bridge, you burned it. And it was burned unless you both come to some kind of reconciliation during that period of time. So that was tough. If you had
Wow.
history with anybody and then the next thing you know, they're writing your EPR.
Mhm. Wow.
So
I never thought of it that
that
way.
was a lot. Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, it was painful. It was painful. I mean, it literally drove me to a mental institution when that there was a colonel that was actually fired from the band at that time. And I was his exec during that time
Mhm.
because they told me that I couldn't sing and kicked me out of the band. Long story short. Yeah, they were able to do that. bunch of dudes. By that time, Kristen was gone, Shani was gone, and I was the female left, and they decided they want to be a country rock band, and they didn't want me in there.
Uh-huh.
But I was temporarily working for the commander's exec. I mean, as a commander's exec, and this guy showed up, and there was several people that actually retired because they had experienced him at another base before,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, "We put our paperwork in. This dude is crazy." And
So
so
his reputation
I said,
preceded him.
I was like, I can handle anything. Let me do this. And I just thought it'd be a great, I can handle, I went on tour with Thousand Blue. What you talking about? I've dealt with all
I
kinds of
will
personalities.
tame this pony.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, it landed me in a mental institution. Like I literally, no kidding. It wasn't, no kidding. I was
Wow.
using coloring books and telling stories. So it was, I was outpatient there for 3 months at this place because they were okay. First of all, he literally said, "You can't sing. You don't even sing in on pitch or something like that." And he said some racist remarks and stuff in the office. And he said, "You're never." I said, "So when do I get to go back to my group?" Because it was a temporary thing. He said,
Mhm.
"Never." And he said, "You're going to be my secretary until I leave." So I said, "Okay." So you go through this whole thing of this is the one thing that I've done my whole life. The one thing
Yeah.
out of everything that I've ever done
Yeah.
at sports, whatever, I've sang my ever since I can remember. And now you're telling me that I'm not qualified to do it. And that broke me. That broke me. I was
I
like,
can't even fathom that.
I believed him too. So
Oh, you
it's
did.
been a
You took
lot
it
of
in.
years. Oh my God. It crushed me. So, but I try to fight it. I try to fight getting back. And I don't know why, because the truth is I shouldn't have been there no way with people that didn't want me there in the first place.
Right,
So
right,
why
right.
was I trying to be there? And
Yeah.
but and then he was like, I'm gonna let you back in the band. And he goes, and then that night he called me. No, he called me. He said, Chief is gonna call you, blah blah blah, and tell you when you can go back to the band. And he said, congratulations, you're going to be deployed. And so instead of telling me I was going back to the band, he sent me 6 months over to the deed. And I was like, seriously? And I was engaged too. So
Oh,
it was over the period of time, which got called off, but it was over the period of time that I was supposed to get married to my husband. So it was my now husband. So it was, yeah, I, I don't know how I survived it, but I ain't saying I was suicidal, but it was one of those where you're like, I'm better off kind of thing. But like it was the darkest place I'd ever been
was
in,
it?
and I couldn't understand. I was beating myself up because I'm like, why am I letting this man
Yeah. Why'd you let him
do
get?
this
Yeah.
to me?
Yeah.
And and I
Hey,
but
were you a
he
chief at
took
this?
something from me.
Yeah. He
Huh?
yanked it from you. Were you a chief at this time?
Yeah. No, no. But that experience
Yeah.
propelled me ahead of everybody else that I was able to
Yeah. Yeah.
get the points and stuff that I needed to even be competitive. So where I was being pressed, I was blooming. You know, I was, you bloom where you plant it. And I was, even though I was down, down, down,
Yeah.
I came out better for it. And so I'm grateful for for that pressing. I'm grateful for those opportunities, but it was the darkest time of my career, I will say. And he got fired, got relieved of his duties while I was deployed. So yeah, so I stayed there for 9 months, I think, and came back and still didn't go back to the band. But I became the director of operations, and which was a great position for me, and resource manager. So I build my resume up even for the outside. So I decided to just and do those things. And I was getting opportunities. I still got to go do an anthem for Trump and a few things, odds and ends when they didn't have anybody, like say they
Right.
were on tour or something like that. But got to sing with the Airmen of Note a couple of times
Oh.
while I was in that position. So those were little treats, and so I just choose to hang on to that. But I when you get out, there's just a lot of people that talk, and so we've got a little support system because it was a lot of the same stuff going on, and a lot of investigation and all that stuff too. But it's one of those things that because they are so close to these generals and doing everything for them, it's like it's something that you can't even crack or break into.
Yeah.
And so you just have to finally just go, letting it go.
It just sounds like such a good old boy system.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Wow.
But I made it. And
You
so I can't I can't
you
say,
plowed through
you
it.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
I can't say that it was that horrible because I made chief while I
Well,
was there. So that
when you think about it, though, I mean, it's part of your life. It was part of your career.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
sure you might have
They
twisted and
thought when
changed
they
it.
were moving me, they
Things
thought when
happen
they
for
were
a
moving
reason.
me around,
Yeah,
when they were
happens for a
moving me
reason.
around, all they were doing was building my baggage. So if
Yeah,
I stayed in the band, I would have never had those other opportunities to set me apart from the
yeah,
others.
yeah,
And so that's what I'm grateful for. So I choose to be grateful. Otherwise, I go dark.
yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
What year were you first asked to be a part of the team lead bunch?
Ooh, the next year. I came the very next year. I never left after that. I think there was one time when the band didn't let me go, but I was so grateful. I was on the very team that I was part of
Mhm.
on there was it was a team that I ended up working with. So Donna and Percy and we had a few people in and out, Daniel and Aaron Holtz-Apfel and a
Yep.
few of those heavies throughout and then I went, then Derek, and then it was like me, Derek, and Daryl. I've been on the team with Huey me, Derek, Daryl, and
Was
Libby. So that's a
Libby?
team.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah. And then I was on a team with Huey and Keisha one time. So I a lot of the years just kind of blur together
Mhm.
because I remember more of my worldwides, the other worldwides, than I do my actual tour. So
Yeah.
I've made more memories with you guys and oh my gosh, and some of the acts and stuff. Like I remember specific act. Now I could tell you a lot of Roger and Wilco winners
Yeah.
as we're taking tallies of our people, you know.
Whereas I can't. I've been doing I missed one worldwide, maybe two between 93 and when they shut it down. I think I missed maybe
Yep.
two.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
couldn't tell you, people are, I'm amazed at, especially the folks, the vocalist team leads. You guys remember these names like and who won what they
I'm
sang and what they
horrible at it.
wore. And I'm like, what? It
Because
just
we probably found it for them or let them wear our outfits.
that
But
could be
you get so connected to them
that
in
must be
these
what it
10
is.
days. You're with them everywhere. You're with
Yeah,
them everywhere, and we take it so seriously, and we put the time in, and we are desperately trying to get them a seat on the bus no matter what,
yeah,
and we are their biggest advocates. So we are like their mamas
yeah.
and sisters, and so we learn everything we can about them to get through to them, and I mean, Percy and them were so good at it. You know, they were so good at it. And you could just take a master class from them and what they were and how they
Great.
would approach things. So I did a whole lot of watching that first couple of years and you know, and then you see friends that you actually tried out with before and you're so happy for their success and
Yep,
Keisha and Tony Marshall and them
yep.
when they made it the next time. And so I'm just so much, so much, so much. And I miss it. I miss it. I miss it. It makes me
Yeah,
sick. I miss it.
yeah. I do too. Terribly, terribly. Which is why I started this so we can stay in
Yeah.
contact.
Thank
All right.
you. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, dear. So I'm going to ask you the final question I've asked all the priors that have come on here.
You didn't ask me about 2013.
Oh, you're right. And that was on my list too. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good job. Um,
I don't remember nothing about it hardly, but
that
I
had
remember it was a
that had
tour.
to be quite the honor, asked to be on that team, on that
It
crew.
was crazy. It was crazy. That was that was a heck of a tour. You saw some of the pictures I sent
Oh
you,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
they did go. They did. They went too.
yeah.
So it was just cool, man. I mean, oh, they were all stars, and you were just. It was an honor to be amongst them.
Was there was
So
there a, was there a theme to that show, or was it just general music and dance? Was there a theme to it, or was it
I
just
think it was
boom?
like the gift of music or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The gift of music because it was during the holidays. We were there for the holidays, and it was a gift to us, man. Because it was awesome because you had young ones and you had new ones. I mean, you had old ones, you
Yep.
know, and the Moniques and stuff. And oh, they're so talented. And
Yeah, the
it,
Scott
but the
Sutherlands.
funniest part was learning. The funny part was learning choreography with your older, fatter self. So that
Yeah.
was really funny. So,
A lot of close moves. A lot of close moves.
I laughed at Lane. Lane's like, he just spins around, he does just a few spins,
Yeah.
makes it look good. So,
Lane is such a trip, and he's such a good man.
oh
And
my gosh, he's
he
great.
was well, I went on tour with Lane. He came out with us on the '93 tour. So he was on at staging. He was part of the staging crew, and then
Yeah.
Chief asked him to come on the road with us for a while. So it was kind of cool playing bass behind Lane McRae. That was kind of cool.
I'm just saying. So you're like, I'm literally on this little tour and he helped us with choreography and stuff, but
Mhm.
I
Right.
performed with him. It's
Yep.
crazy. And to see Monique be his counterpart and stuff, and oh my gosh, it was fun. It was fun. And we were all grown. It wasn't like we needed to be told all this tour stuff, all the extra stuff.
Yep.
We could just go out there and have fun
Do it.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it was
envy
great.
you.
It
That
was an
must have been
experience.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That must have been
yeah.
amazing.
It was good
Wow.
times.
So I end with this question. And you've been with the organization now since 2001. Who would you say was the prior that influenced you the most, that affected you the most?
Man, that's a toss up.
And this is, by the
Well,
way,
I would say that
this isn't to besmirch other priors. Everybody was
no.
affected differently by other priors.
You start thinking about because it happened in sections, So I think I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Miss Lorna,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
and
Good
and
call.
Jose Finn Chief Finn had a hand in that, and Miss Glow and all them. So those capital area priors really prepared me for
Mhm.
for Tops and Blue, and I got to see their old videos and the
Yeah.
'88 tour, and
Yeah.
and got to see her do the Chiquita Banana thing,
Mhm.
and you're seeing this old school talent, and getting to hear the stories about the big worldwides when the Air Force was so huge, and it just gave you a greater appreciation for the history of it, and knowing that you're a part of something that's so much bigger than yourself,
Yes.
and there's nothing under the sun that hasn't happened or that they haven't experienced, and I'm just a cog in the wheel that hopefully gets a seat on the bus,
Yeah.
and so I think Miss Lorna, because I still reach back to her a lot, and I haven't gotten to talk to her, but I send her pictures of my house, and so I love her. I love her to death, and,
Yep.
and she means so much to me. And
Yep.
but in that group, she's like the matriarch. But then you got all of them, the Derricks, the Miss Glows, the Jose Finns, the
Percy's.
Andrea Falchers, yeah. So you got all the rest of them that falls under that. But then of course, nobody makes it through staging without Ed Jones.
Correct.
So, I had a book of quotes from him during staging. Whether he was talking to me or not talking to me, I would write it down because I'm
Right.
like, this might apply to me one day. And got a book of quotes from him, and he inspired us the entire time when we
You should
were
publish that.
behind under a desk somewhere, huh?
You should publish that. Ed's book of quotes.
This ain't show business, it's show friend. Or this ain't show friends, it's show business. That's what he said. Yeah.
I think he said that all the way back in '93.
Yeah. And it was new to me. So I was like, let's write that down. But he said it a number of times. Or like Miss Jerry's, I don't want to see any labor pains, I just want to see the baby.
I want to see the baby.
That was her quote on the tour. Yep. And so those folks, and then of course Chief, we didn't get to see him a lot on tour, but when we did, he was always doing something genius, or you could just tell that he was getting older, but he was still so
On top of
sharp,
the game.
and
Yeah.
yes, and knew so much. He knew so much. It was crazy how much he knew. And so yeah, he was just, and I love seeing that tap dance video because we never
Oh,
got to see that tap dance on stage during the worldwide and stuff, or staging wherever he was at.
yeah.
We never got to see that side of him, so it was really cool
I got
to experience that.
I got to
I
see.
love, and Miss Linda,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I got to see
yeah.
Tom tap dance in the '93 Worldwide. You went on stage at
Yeah,
tap
so
dance.
there's so many. Right. Yeah, what a gift that is. Like we didn't get to see all that,
Yeah,
but I'm like, you were a tap dancer? He's a tap dancer?
yeah,
Man. But then you could see exactly, I mean, it looked just like him up there.
yeah.
So I
Staff
couldn't
Sergeant
even
Tom
visualize
Edwards up
until I
there
saw the
getting it.
video at the retirement ceremony. That was wild. That was
Yeah,
wild. And just to know that Miss Doris was there
yeah.
too,
What a
and the
remarkable
fact
woman.
that she came to the 60th and all that, my God. I mean, yeah.
It was quite
We
beautiful.
we stand on some giants' shoulders, man, and
We
it's fortunate.
indeed do sit on giant shoulders. You
Yep,
nailed that one. Wow.
yep.
All right, kiddo. Well, I've taken up enough of your time, your valuable time out there on the
Oh,
homestead.
I just got comfortable.
My,
That's good.
my wife has delicious chili waiting for me upstairs.
I made some spaghetti, and I'm sure it's probably all gone by now. So,
Oh, real
yep.
quick, how do you cook your turkey for Thanksgiving if you do in fact cook a turkey?
I smoke one, and I roast one for the giblets and the stock.
Oh,
So, yep. So we
I
never
do
present a turkey because we just get our electric thing and go
just
down there.
go at it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
go at it. Go at it. I put that sucker in a roaster for a couple hours and a half and get my juice and my giblets and make my gravy.
Juice and
We
giblets.
use the meat for, yep, juice and giblets, baby. But we got a smoked one too. I'd smoke one as well. So
I do mine on the Weber grill, charcoal grill.
you do.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
two of them. They work
Charcoal.
quite good. Yep.
I do
Delicious.
I do the one on my Traeger on well now it's the other one, but my pellet grill. So yeah.
All right, girl.
I
Well,
learned that. I learned that when I stayed in the RV before while
oh
I was
yeah.
building the house.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I still did Thanksgiving. I just did everything on a grill. So I was like, this smoked turkey
Well,
is the bomb. So
it's a
I've
good
done it ever since.
it's a good skill set to back up to if you need to.
It really is. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah.
Yep. All
Well,
right.
dear, I love you so much. It's been such an
I
honor
love
talking to you and
you.
seeing you again. I truly enjoyed everything you've done, everything I've seen that you put out there. It's such fun to watch all the
Thank
folks
you.
I've worked with do these things. When I think of the folks that do the acting thing, you, Khalil, JD Dill, TA,
Yeah. Yeah. JD came to see one of my shows.
it's just
So
such
cool.
talent out there. Such talent. You guys are so
Yeah.
great.
It's a lot. It's a lot. We could literally take some of this stuff to Vegas. I mean,
Take it to
some of
Vegas.
these people. It's
Yep.
crazy.
All right.
So, hey,
You,
you need
yes.
to do a video of you playing one day, some of your original stuff.
I,
Just saying.
you know what'd be great? I wish I could find the videos from those worldwides. I
And
don't
start,
have any.
oh, that'd be cool.
I want to see my reaction when I found out that I made tour because I was in the middle of eating a salad when he called my name. I had like a mouthful of romaine
Yeah.
lettuce when he called my
Oh,
name on
well,
stage.
yeah. When he called my name, he told me, he said, now don't think for a second that just because you won that you're gonna get a seat on the bus. By that time, I was like, okay, I didn't make it. I was convinced that I didn't make it at all. So I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
like, okay,
Oh,
he hates
oh,
me. So
did you when you were at Worldwide, did you interview with Tom?
I did. I
How'd that
did.
go? Do
It
you remember it?
it went better than expected. Yes, I do,
Oh,
because he
okay.
said, I heard you were a little rough around the edges. Because I mean, I don't know who told him, but he said, heard you a little rough around it. He said, how are you going to deal with the women on tour? And I remember specifically him saying that, and I was like I do with everybody else, like
Yeah.
how are you going to deal when they're all blah blah blah? And but he just looked at me, and I remember some of the other people that from 2000. I can't even think of their
Yeah.
names right now, but
Yeah.
I remember them just looking at me, and I was like, do I need to keep talking or not?
Yeah. Do I keep embellishing?
Right. And he's just like this. He's
Yeah.
looking at you all weird. And he's like, and you, and then I'm like, okay, well, okay, I'm just gonna stop. I remember saying, and then there was a time that he said something, and I didn't explain it or anything. I just said no. And it was like,
Oh,
and I think he was waiting for me to say something else. I was
yeah.
like, no.
No follow up.
And then he's like, all right, we're good. See. So that was my experience. I'm sure there were other questions, but those are the ones that stuck out. So
I did an interview with Tom. I did an interview with him.
you did not. See, I
And
was
I
on the
got,
panel too, my tour year, and I got to see all the secrets.
yeah, I didn't interview with Tom. When I had my instrumental audition was with Chris Knox, and I've said this on this podcast before, so it is what it is now. I never played a single note in that bass during the interview.
What?
Didn't even come out of the
So,
case.
so did other people do personal interviews with
I don't know. I don't know
Chief,
if he didn't ask if I was
or it
specific,
just wasn't
or he
that
did,
year?
or if it was just vocalist. I got the impression, and I'm sure Chief will correct me on this.
Yeah.
I got the impression it was just the vocalist side of the farm that got the interviews with Chief.
Oh,
I don't know if the band did. I'll have
yeah.
to.
Back when it was so big, I'm sure it probably was the
Yeah,
case. But
yeah. I didn't interview him.
he did everybody, and we would stay up till
Yeah,
2 in the morning if we
yeah.
needed to get them
You guys were
done.
doing
So yeah,
breakfast with Chief. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was nuts. But
All
yep,
right, dear.
yep. All right.
You have a great
Enjoy your meal.
Thanksgiving. I'm
You
sorry.
too. I
Oh,
said, enjoy your meal.
yes. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. You have a great Christmas and a great New Year's. Much love to you.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure talking to you. And yeah, I'm glad I
I
got
love
you.
you,
I love
and have
you.
a wonderful holiday. And please tell your bride I said hello.
I will do it. Please tell your husband, all your family, everybody there on the
Keep
homestead.
doing this. Keep doing this,
Oh,
man.
I am. I've got lots of people to pull from. So,
All right. Are
all
you
right,
still
dear.
running with the flag thing?
Every 4 days a week.
All right.
4 days a week. I run to the
That's
gym with it,
awesome.
and then I lift weights and I jog back to the house.
You're a rock star.
And the
I'm just
folks
saying.
at Planet Fitness, when I walk in the door, they're like this. They automatically just put their hands out for me to hand the flag to them. They hold on
Oh,
to
you're my
it.
hero.
So
You're
yeah.
my hero. I love that.
All right, dear.
All right.
I'm gonna end it here. Much love to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
y'all.
Bye bye.